Hey friends, this is Wendy with LUVIN Stampin'. I am excited you're here with me today. We are going to make a card using some brand new product from Stampin' Up! That'll be available January 4th. This is the Be Mine Designer Series paper, which is my very favorite paper in the new Stampin' Up! Catalog. And we're going to use the Be My Valentine bundle, which has a cute bee punch and stamp set. Now, I know it's right before Christmas and you're probably thinking, why are we making a Valentine card? But honestly, I'm just going to be honest with you. These are my December thank you cards. These are cards that all of the people who place an order with me in the month of December will get one of these cards. But they will also get a cute little bee charm that is just to die for adorable. So I'm making this card for two reasons. One, I am sick of Christmas. And I mean that in the most loving way possible. And what I actually mean by that is I'm just tired of making Christmas projects. So I thought this was a nice little breakup right before Christmas to do something non-Christmassy and fun. I cut all that stack of designer series paper to 1 inch by 1.5 inches, and I'm just setting it aside. What you're going to see me doing here is doing a lot of assembly work or prep work for future assembly. Miss Deborah will be the one who ultimately finishes out these cards, but I always try to cut a few things in advance or get a good grasp on what I have going on before I pass it off to her. So I will have the measurements for this in a little project sheet for you, just so you have the measurements of each piece that I used. So you don't have to worry about writing it down or trying to figure out what it is. That project sheet is free. It's over on my blog. And there is a link below the video in the description box that says measurements and supplies. And then there's a link right there. If you click that link, it will take you directly to my blog where you can view videos, print project sheets, purchase supplies. My supply lists are there. There's more photos there. So all the parts and pieces that you need for making this card is there. Now, you will not be able to purchase the designer series paper or the bundle until January 4th. But I thought I would just let you see it now so that you could kind of get an idea of how cute it is and if it's something you would want to grab. I did not get a super ton of the designer series paper from the new catalog because lately in my creative journey, I have not been using pattern paper as often. So I don't have one of everything, and that is the very first time in my Stampin' Up! Career, I think, that I have not purchased one of every pattern paper. So it'll be interesting to see if I end up buying more of the different ones or if I stick with what I already purchased. Okay, so this little 1/2 inch strip goes across here, and I've got a little tag punch that I'm going to use for the top little piece. And then we're going to use this stamp set and the punch to make our little bee. Here, I'm just kind of trying to decide what it is exactly I want to do. And I run through a couple different ideas in my head. But ultimately, I ended up deciding to punch the bee out of Lemon Lolly, stamp him in Hero Arts Intense Black ink, and then I punched his little wings out of vellum. And then I put all this together, and I'm going to use the largest stitched circle from the Stylish Shapes dies for my focal piece. And here I'm trying to decide what sentiment I want to use for this card. I ended up settling on Be Mine. I just thought that's a cute sentiment. It plays on the whole little bee thing. I'm giving a little bee charm. I don't know, just was cute. And it fit nicely at the bottom of the circle, and ultimately that's what wins, right? Whatever fits nice and looks the best. So here's the punch, and you can see you could obviously use his little wings for a heart punch as well. You don't have to use them for wings. In this case, I will use them for wings, and I'm not going to stamp them at all. I'm just going to punch them out. And here again, I'm just making decisions. So I'm letting you in on some of my creative process. I'm just holding all the little stuff up on the circle, trying to decide how I want to do things. And then like I said, I chose that Be Mine. I'm going to grab my mini Misti and place the circle on my sticky mat. And I needed a new one. So Misti sells these sticky mats, and they are fantastic. So if you do not have these, if you have a Misti, they make them in the mini size and the regular size. I would definitely consider picking up some of the sticky mats, because then you just put your magnet on the sticky mat and the sticky mat holds your cardstock in place, and it is absolutely wonderful. So here I'm going to stamp that in black, like I said earlier, and then we're going to be able to move on to the next part of this card. There is a link below the video for all Misti products. I am an affiliate with My Sweet Petunia, and so if you use my link, I do get a little small kickback from you purchasing any Misti products, and that's always appreciated. It doesn't cost you anything extra, just so you know. It's the same amount no matter what. Same as purchasing Stampin' Up! Products. If you use my links to purchase, I get a little kickback, but it doesn't cost you anything more. Here I used Lemon Lolly ink to stamp all those little honeycomb pieces, and then I'm going to punch my bee, and then I'll punch his wings in the vellum. Now I'm going to use my Misti. This is where a Misti comes in so handy, especially with that sticky mat. I'm going to use this sticky mat to hold that little tiny bee in place. There would be no way for me to put the magnet on that bee. It just wouldn't be, I wouldn't be able to stamp it. So here I'm able to line it all up perfectly, get it exactly how I want it. That sticky mat is holding that little piece of cardstock in place for me, and I'm able to stamp and restamp this image right on top of the Lemon Lolly cardstock. Truthfully, this has got to be one of the best inventions of all time. Is this particular design for the Misti with the sticky mats. It's a game changer. So, and they're really cheap. That's the thing. The sticky mats are really inexpensive. So, here I'm just going to get it all situated, close my lid, open it up, and now I can stamp away, and you will see it holds that little bee in place perfectly while I stamp. Okay. What else is happening? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I am recording this video like weeks in advance of when you're watching it, and why. We're going to talk about that. I am going to take the entire week of Christmas and the entire first week of the new year off work. I will be going dark. I'm not going to be online at all. I am giving this to myself as a gift to not be on social media, not be on my computer, and just enjoy those 2 weeks with my family. And if I want to create, I'll create, but I'm not going to tether myself to being online. So in order to make that happen, sometimes I'm not sure everybody understands what goes into having a YouTube channel, a blog, working for design teams, owning your own business doing this. I think that sometimes it can seem like it's this magical thing that everybody must be just so incredibly lucky to do. And yes, that is true. I feel incredibly honored, blessed, lucky, grateful, thankful for all of you that watch my channel and that support me either financially or just by watching. Every bit of it matters. So I am abundantly grateful. But it is work. It is a job. And thank God I get to do something I love and that makes me smile and that brings smiles to the faces of other people, because I think that that's the dream of every human, is to be able to do something that brings them joy and brings others joy. And I get to do that every single day. I will never take that for granted. I think there was a time a couple years ago that I did take it for granted, and I will never take it for granted again, because I know how precious and wonderful it is. So all of that, though, is to say that it is a very taxing mentally job, in that I don't have a person who I can be like, well, here's all the stuff I created. Now edit my videos, upload them to YouTube, make me a thumbnail that's cute for those. Oh, by the way, all that needs to get posted on social media at a certain day and a certain time. By the way, make sure you pin it to Pinterest from my website after you post it all. By the way, you need to answer the emails that you've been sent or the comments on YouTube, or so it's just, there is so much more that goes into this than creating. In fact, one of the reasons you have seen my business change so much this year has been 100% due to the fact that I recognized I spent more of my time curating things for social media, writing blog posts, editing videos, doing administrative work than I did creating. And I made a vow to myself this year that that was going to change. That creativity, creating, teaching, doing this because I want to share it with you is so much of what I do. It's why I do this. And I was losing that. And instead, I was doing all this administrative stuff. Now, that being said, the administrative stuff is still there. It's just less than it was because of the way I've changed my business. And now I am creating so much more for the joy of creating than I ever was before. It kind of feels like how it felt when I started. Meaning started creating, not even started my business. I mean, started creating way, way, way back before I had a YouTube channel and I was just scrapbooking for myself and my family. Those days are the days I missed, not for the scrapbooking necessarily, because I really think I'm a card maker at heart after I discovered card making, but the joy of creating. And I made it back there, you guys. So all of this is to say, that is why I'm going to spend 2 weeks just going dark. But in order to make that happen, I have to record videos and plan way in advance. Like taking 2 weeks off for me is major. I've never completely taken 2 weeks off. So any content that I put up between December 22nd and January 7th is going to be pre-recorded, pre-scheduled content. I will not be posting content during that time, meaning for those of you who don't do social media and stuff, as far as like the scheduling and all that means is that in order to get all this up, I have to pre-schedule it in a scheduling system. I'm not going to probably have very much up during the holidays. I'm not going to say I'm not going to have anything because I think there's a handful of things I want to have up. The new Stampin' Up! Catalog will launch on January 4th. So I'm going to pre-schedule all that stuff, emails and all that stuff to go out while I'm out. And yeah, I'm going to even try really hard not to check email and just really enjoy my time, which means I'll probably come back to 6,000 emails, but that's okay. I'll deal with it when I come back. Here's the little bee charm that I wanted to show you. I'm trying to get my camera to focus. Look how cute that is. So if you have placed an order in the month of December, or if you want to place an order in the month of December, you will get this card and you will get this bee charm from me. I will be mailing them out in January. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And I want you to know from the depths of my soul how much I appreciate you and appreciate you being here and taking the time to be with me. It means the absolute world to me. So I know your time is valuable and precious, and the fact that you'd spend any of it with me means heaps. I just can't even explain. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye.